I love a new year. I love the goals, the vision boards, the this is my year enthusiasm. But this year I missed it. I accidentally started my new year in March and it's been the most productive and peaceful reset I've ever actually done. By the end of January, I hadn't set my goals, I hadn't planned anything, and instead of forcing myself to, I just didn't do any of it. So I recently decided that March 1st would be my January 1st. And it kind of changed a lot for me. Today is March 1st, and for me, it's my first day of the year. I thought I would show you what I did this week to finally start my year, and why I found doing it late actually worked better for me. But first, let's have some context. If you're new here, hi, my name's Nina, I'm 28 years old, and I recently moved from Australia to the UK. When New Year rolled around this year, we literally didn't have a place to live yet, and we'd be living out of our suitcases for months. We finally actually got this flat in mid-January, and that's kind of when the chaos got even worse, to be honest. We moved with literally nothing. We just had like two 30-kilo bags and that was it. So like no furniture, no appliances, nothing. And for the first couple of weeks we were sleeping on an air mattress and literally eating like Tesco meal deals because we didn't even have a kettle to boil water or a pot to boil water or a microwave or anything. So we were just getting like the sandwiches from Tesco in a meal deal. It feels like since we got here in the UK, it's just been survival mode, and that pretty much lasted like 2.5 months. And being in that survival mode, we weren't exactly thinking about like vision boards and goals for the year. We were thinking about like how to set up some Wi-Fi, how the heating works, also like where the grocery shop is and where the bins are. So yeah, I missed it. I missed January 1st, I missed the new year, I missed doing all the new year motivational stuff. And it kind of sucked because everyone else around me was doing that kind of stuff, setting the goals, especially on social media. So many people were like setting their goals and making their vision board. And that kind of stresses me out because once you like miss January, you feel like you missed your window to start the new year. You feel like if you didn't already do your reset on January 1st, you're already behind for the year. And I think social media kind of makes it worse. January kind of feels like a race, like everyone's posting their new routines, their new goals, they're like getting up at 5 a.m. routines. And even if you don't want to compare yourself, it's kind of really hard not to. And then as a result, if you're not keeping up with everything, you kind of feel like you failed a bit. So I decided about a week ago that I was going to change it. I was gonna change it for myself and do what I wanted to do. I was sitting here in my flat one night and it kind of felt like everything had settled. There was nothing to unpack. I finally had a kitchen that I could make food in, and it's starting to kind of feel like a place that I can actually start living in. And I kind of realized that I skipped all that New Year stuff and I hadn't thought about what I actually wanted this year to kind of look like for me. I kind of realized the last couple months I'd just been reacting to the things happening around me and I wasn't able to focus on the things that I needed to put intention in doing. So because March was coming up, I kind of realized, well, why don't I just do it all in March? 1st of March can be my new first day of the year. And maybe I didn't actually miss the New Year reset. I just wasn't ready for it when it was happening at the time. Okay, so you're probably wondering what I did to reset and how I made it work for the 1st of March, especially with like already feeling like you're behind. So this is what I kind of did to help me get started. I stopped trying to play catch up and I just picked a date that worked for me, and it doesn't have to be March 1st. On the date, you don't need to do any big announcements on social media, no like dramatic reset. It's just like a quiet decision for yourself. And this is why it works so much better for me than doing it on January 1st. There was zero pressure, nobody else was doing it, which meant that there was no comparison. No like invisible countdown clock and deadline. It was just me quietly starting my new year. As someone who is quite creative, that kind of pressure and timeline and deadlines makes me sort of shut down and freeze. And I didn't expect this to happen when it did. But by setting this date, I was able to kind of remove that pressure that the whole world around me had. And it kind of felt lighter and just easier. It felt like I wasn't trying to keep up with everyone else. I was just going at my own pace. And I also want to kind of touch on the fact that I think it might be something to do with being in the UK as well. In Australia, January is kind of chaotic. It's summer, it's busy, there's Christmas and New Year happening all at the same time. There's all the social plans that you have because of summer. It's just like everything happening at once. Here in the UK in January, it's cold, it's quiet, people are kind of hibernating. And now that it's March, the days are kind of getting lighter, the sun is starting to set later, and there's kind of a subtle shift that feels like something is actually beginning. For me, it feels like the year is starting now. So let me show you what I actually did this week to reset. The biggest thing that I had been avoiding this year was my Notion. If you don't know what Notion is, it's basically like a life dashboard. Everything kind of lives there. It's got my goals, my content planning, analytics. You can kind of make it whatever you want. It's a really handy thing that I use. And mine was still set up for 2025. It literally still had like the old checklist that I had for when I was moving over to the UK, old YouTube analytics, and like the most terrifying part was it still had last year's vision board, which was just not the vibe anymore. Every time I opened it, it kind of just reminded me how behind I was for the year. So the biggest thing for me was to just clean it up, and instead of like adding more stuff to it, I went and deleted a whole bunch of stuff that was outdated. Then I got to do the fun part, which was like redesigning it. I redesigned the banners, updated like the main dashboard section, and made like fresh areas for 2026. And if you're wondering how I did this, I just used Canva and made it all on there, which then naturally led me into doing my vision board as well. So this is my 2026 vision board. I'm very happy with it. The second thing that I did was a big YouTube reset. So I reset the banners on my YouTube channel, cleaned up some of the settings because it was all a bit of a mess, and also properly researched what I needed to focus on this year to make sure my channel is growing. My biggest goal this year is monetization on my YouTube channel. I've been sitting on 899 subscribers for about a week now, which I'm not gonna lie has been mildly painful. So if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. But aside from the numbers, I do really want my content to be intentional. I'd like my content to reach people who can actually relate, and I really want to document this chapter of my life properly and hopefully help other people out at the same time. So those were my two main resets. My kind of systems and life admin on Notion, and the direction that I'm taking my YouTube channel in. I'm keeping my goals really simple. They are just having 2 videos posted a week and hitting 1,000 subscribers. That's it really. No like 10-page lists, no outrageous things that are really hard to meet, no unrealistic expectations, just consistency for me. And if you want to try this starting your new year when you want to, this is what I would suggest doing. First, pick a new start date and pick one system to reset, whether that's your planner, your notes app, a space in your apartment or house. And just pick like 1 or 2 goals to focus on. Just start quietly, don't announce it, just quietly move into your personal new year. You really didn't miss your chance just because January didn't work out. You can start again whenever you're ready, and apparently for me, that is March. So if you feel like you missed January too and you kind of can relate to this, leave a comment down below just so that we can all kind of come together and not feel as alone. If you have been liking my content, or if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!